everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the Cleveland Browns. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between our visitors and the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they come in the midst of a pretty bad stretch here. Losers of 5 straight.
So many different reasons teams hit the losing skids, but the best way out of it, something has to happen positive early in the game.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. On play action, they'll throw. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. A look now at the defensive starters for Cleveland. This unit, they're hoping to improve against the pass because right now, Charles, number 27 in the NFL.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. They'll set up a throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. The defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
Now they try the right side here. And, a little spin cycle. Room to run now. And a spin again. And now off to the races. Down the right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great effort there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Browns have taken the early lead. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
Point after here coming up. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races. And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game. But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Newman. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, a 22.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll look to throw here. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they hit the home run last drive. 1 play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball, but not about them just taking it. Big-time jaunt. Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
And when you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 23 yards on the play. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. They'll go option to the short side. Oh, fancy running by Murray. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. He's able to call his own number for 8 that time, but it leaves him with a 3rd down.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it, and while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A lot depended on the spot there, and he got it. But it wasn't by much, was it? I remember Coach Madden talking about, depending on which foot the official used, that would tell you whether you had the first down or not. You want that upfield foot to be the one that spots the ball, don't you?
And you and I have the luxury of a couple extra views here in the booth, and he did get it, but not by much. A first red zone opportunity for the Browns thus far. They've got a 1st and goal just inside the 5. Now a handoff looking right. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. Here's how they'll line things up on the defensive side of the ball for Oakland. They're currently 6th in the NFL in defending the run.
I jotted down in my notes in prepping for this game that this is definitely an area we got to keep an eye on because you're talking about where they rank in stopping the run. But how about what they're facing? This unit loves to run the football, and they rank highly in the league in getting it done.
Yeah, power against power. Something's got to give. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Here we go.
Murray now. Flushed out right. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. It's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points put on the board.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. So out come the Raiders. And last time able to get 3. That's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And I think the Browns got it. They did. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Here we go now. 3-19.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
They'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Newman. 3 catches now this afternoon, the same number he had all of last week. Also, it's a 1st down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still 1st down.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Throw left side, complete. It's Fleming. They get the penalty yardage back, plus 5 more as they get it to 2nd and 5.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
He'll look to throw. And he hits Drake. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Hurry up,
They'll set up to throw. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. A good pickup there, a 22.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover one. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
To throw again. And he is going to go down. He will be sacked on the final play of this first quarter. So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. 10-3 the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving.
Set, 3-19.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can make a play on the football.
Back to throw here. This is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. In for the score. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. Santos with the extra point, and we are even at 10 apiece. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe. And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And down he goes just beyond the 35, but that pretty move got him some extra space to run. He's able to call his own number for 8 that time, but it leaves him with a 3rd down. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Nice stiff arm.
Underused, but still effective.
13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Browns have moved out in front. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. The extra point splits the uprights, and that makes it a 17-10 score. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it's capped off by the Browns' touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field. Try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, a little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass, no interceptions for him personally to this point. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
If it's not one guy, it's another with this defense. I mean, this is the #1 unit against the rush in the entire NFL. They know how to cover for each other, and yeah, they've got great players. They also have very dependable players, too.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. And it looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves them with 7 yards to go on third down.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
And definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. Yeah, they have had success on the ground, really as a team, doing well carrying the football. So maybe a little less pressure on his shoulders as the quarterback.
Any pressure he's carrying right now, that's self-inflicted, right? He's taking it on. He doesn't need to. Continue to do what you just said. Let everyone else carry the football. That's been effective. Don't have to worry about him throwing the ball in all the situations now. That's got to be a good feeling if he just relaxes and lets it keep coming to him.
Yeah, and relax and enjoy the second quarter lead right now. So he nearly took it the distance, gets him down inside the 10 for a 1st and goal.
I'd love to be in his head right now because is he rewarding himself for a great run or is he kicking himself because he didn't get all the way to the goal line?
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5.
Hurry up, here we go. 319. 319.
And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
Now this time he'll look to throw. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's 3rd and goal.
Here we go now.
From the gun, Murray. Murray fighting, lost the football. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. This a 33-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure that his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. On 3rd down, that's Hayes. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a 1st down.
Well, we got beefeaters licking their chops and tasty dish in one fell swoop.
I did apologize in advance, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. That line's not eating tofu, I'll tell you that much for free. For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
Operating from the gun, Murray. Going for a right side here, complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
The Browns' passing game finding its stride. They've got another 1st down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. A tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
All right, here we go.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Murray. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. He's got the lane, and there he goes. He's at the 40, past the 20, And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. So from one end zone all the way to the other. Talk about a turnaround.
And how about the excitement that play generates for his team? Not just the points on the board, but the momentum and taking it from coast to coast, end zone to end zone. What a tremendous play. Now get that man an oxygen tent.
That's your boy Old Mo. You said momentum, right?
Old Mo, I think he's kind of limping across at the end because of that distance, but he made it.
Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. I'm sure he wanted to have a huge game, wants to have a huge game as the quarterback, but really on the ground, they've been very, very hard to stop. Maybe you just keep going to that well.
I think so, and isn't it funny how the definition of balance changes for us from game to game? Sometimes it's 50-50, run it, throw it. Sometimes it's just being a balanced running team in terms of who's carrying the football.
More than one guy.
Right, multiple guys out there, and now your guy back there has to throw it. Don't have to worry about it quite as much.
And they've got the lead here in the second quarter. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Murray. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. 1:59 to go in the first half. More from Cleveland after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Murray. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Looking to throw. Murray. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Yeah, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason.
All right, here we go.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Green, 39! Green!
On 3rd down, that's Hayes. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 12 yards that time and an Oakland 1st down. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. Back to throw now on 1st down. It's complete to Drake. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Green, 39! Green!
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Room to run past midfield. Wide open receiver complete. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line it.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Fleming. Oh, and the big play's going to get even bigger as penalty flags are down, and I believe they're going to get a face mask penalty tacked on.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll look to throw here on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Here we go now. Green 39.
They'll drop to throw. And he's taken down. This will be a Browns sack. And now the Browns are going to take another timeout as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. The Raiders on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and forever.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Looking to throw. His throw caught at about the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He'll look to throw. Incomplete. And we're down to 8 seconds now. Line of scrimmage. Again, the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal.
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's going to be hit and driven into the turf. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So they're still down, but they are able to salvage 3 here heading into the lockers.
This is what you work on from the beginning of training camp. Heading into the half, put some points on the board. No matter what the score says at that point, you've accomplished what you set out to do.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things definitely getting interesting around the NFL as we begin the month of December. So let's get right to it. We'll start up in the Steel City, Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. And it's the Steelers who are out in front. The Steelers locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. Next, we head off to check out another game. And they trail the visiting Lions in that one. The Lions seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City. See what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And they've got the lead over the visiting Arizona Cardinals. The Bears trying to gut this one out, as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter three? This will be fielded at the 6. All at a 360. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
This quarterback now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
Now they try the right side here.
Another miss.
Still on his feet. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. We'll check on his status when we get back. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. They'll find him. Find him.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. Green, 30.
To throw again. Murray. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. The Browns on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11.
Set. Blue line.
From the gun, Murray. Hard throw, incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
So making 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives are bogged down, he's been automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He'll drop to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
They're going to look to throw. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
That'll go for only 17 yards on the punt. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the third quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, and looking for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if we can drive the bus here again on this drive.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. They didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. Now a handoff looking right. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And they'll run it here. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, here we go.
Back to throw. Murray. And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
Here we go now.
And they'll go on the ground. Some fancy footwork, but not much room to operate. Just up past the 25 and no further. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. He'll be dropped at the 30. The shifty move couldn't free him. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of the quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. They'll set up a throw, and that is incomplete.
He's second in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays the game with great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it. Somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Off play action. Murray. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really.
Back 99 Philly, here we go!
Now they try the right side here. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On 1st down, Murray. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And he gets it down to the 32. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for him.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Set! Green 30!
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the 1st down. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
Off the bootleg, Murray. That is caught inside the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Browns add 6 to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Looking to throw. Murray. And he's got it. So the try for two successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. And the formula there on the two-point try, they go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a good swung to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
All right, here we go. Blue line.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll look to throw here. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
On 1st and 10, Murray. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4. Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack.
Hurry up, here we go.
Murray now. And the pressure gets to him again.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Now back to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Back to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
Green 39. Green 39.
He'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers, and his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Now, the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. But they have to keep smiles off their faces because that's the first time in the game they've had to do so. They've moved it quite well. They'll overall be happy with what they've seen.
And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right? Yeah. Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
This is taken at the 18. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's got his man on the out route. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a 1st down.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Browns coming out on the field. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better.
All right, here we go.
Throwing on 1st down. Murray looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Lamb. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard now to the 16. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. To throw on 3rd down. Murray. They went backwards 5 yards there on 3rd down to bring up 4th.
Let's stop. Let's stop.
So now the Browns will turn it over to their field goal unit here. This will be, let's see, 38 yards out. And this one is right through. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. Well, it's hard to put your finger on whether this is something to celebrate or something maybe the offense is embarrassed by. But that's now 6 field goals he's made in this game alone.
Yeah, he's bailed them out quite a bit so far. But it's very comforting to know that you have a kicker that's got your back.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. They're giving those short little routes. Tackled him in bounds, too. They're just not wanting to get beat over the top.
Yeah, and if you can't really get downfield, take the short routes. But now you've got to have guys who can actually break tackles and increase those gains.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That'll put him at 96 yards receiving now for the game. And he's got a first down as well. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down. Those short little routes probably going to be open. The defense, they'll let those happen, especially when they can make an inbounds tackle.
Yeah, where's Coach Madden when you need him? He always talked about taking what the defense gives you, but sometimes you have to know when you have to take more. That was one of those situations.
Throw left side complete. That's Fleming. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
They'll set up to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Pass incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
They'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
Back to throw here. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. They'll run it now out of the gun. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and this Browns defense stands tall. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Here we go now.
Now they'll run it on the taunts. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Yeah, let me pump out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. But that was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
On 3rd down, that's McGee. Gets by him at the 25. And again the footwork. And all the way down to the 37. A big pickup there on 3rd and 6. 48 yards.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Browns, they continue to make their case for the playoffs as they move to 9-3. And they will hit the road next week. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the playoffs look to be out of reach now as they drop to 4-8. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.